They didn't treat Vietnam veterans all well at the time, and it seems they're doing it again. Now this is where it gets tricky.
A son searches for his father's burial spot. His dad was a decorated Green Beret in Vietnam, but the Army can't find the one document that will get him a military headstone. If you watched at 4, you saw the soldier's medal, pins, including a Purple Heart and Silver Star, and his Green Beret.
That's right. Now new at 5, Berkeley follows the son to Holy Sepulchre as he looks for his dad's resting spot.
We started in Chilai. In the minivan in front of me is George Rose. We're on our way to Holy Sepulchre Cemetery to see his father. Donald Rose was ROTC at RIT, then officer training school, then a captain in the Army Special Forces in Vietnam. He came home to be an accountant and a Shriner. In 2010, he was murdered by a woman he was trying to help inside his home in the South Wedge. Rose was buried in the veterans section of Holy Sepulchre.
So the people at Holy Sepulchre knew your father well enough. They knew his military service that they buried him in the veterans section and they didn't require any of the documents.
Correct. So he's got to be.
But it's hard to find him because George can't get the one document that would get his father a military headstone. He needs his father's discharge papers, also called the DD-214.
It's just one person, but who else is this affecting everywhere else? Is this the only case that they have, or are there more?
What would it mean to you to be able to get that discharge document?
Closure. Just to have it done and over with, and put him to rest.
He's worked on this for 14 years and has letters from the Army and the offices of Senator Chuck Schumer and the late Louise Slaughter. Despite George having his father's medals at home, the letters say the official searchers are unable to locate any of his dad's documents.
Brings back memories.
What would having your dad's headstone here mean to you?
Just an additional honor for him. Something so my son would know where to come if he wants to visit his grandfather. Somewhere where anyone would know where to go.
So I shared George's story and his dad's story with the Army. The Army told me that he has to file a Freedom of Information request to get this information. George says he's already done that, but he's going to do it again, and he's going to include this story in his application. At Holy Sepulchre, Berkeley Bree, News 10, NBC.
George Rose says, like a lot of veterans, his father didn't tell war stories. He believes his father's documents were lost when the family moved several times over the decades. The Department of Corrections website says the woman convicted of killing Donald Rose died in prison in 2016.